Christmas, a time of joy, traditions, and a little bit of mystery. From ancient roots to modern celebrations, there's more to this holiday than meets the eye. Today, we're uncovering some fascinating facts about Christmas that might just surprise you. But before that, I'll be very grateful if you enjoy this type of content to please like and subscribe. Now, let's get into some random facts about Christmas. Even though we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ on December 25th, there is a big chance that he wasn't born on that date. In fact, the Bible doesn't state a particular date, and no one really knows when he was born. Many experts even claim it didn't happen in December. We have two clues that hint at a potential date. The first is that, when he was born, the shepherds and their flocks spent the night outside. Even though winters were probably mild in Bethlehem, it still seems like a bit of a stretch. The second clue is the census ordered by Emperor Octavian shortly before his birth. Since this would require a lot of travel, it's unlikely it took place in December. So, why exactly December 25th? Many believe it was chosen to coincide with Roman celebrations for the god Saturn, known as Saturnalia. By aligning Christmas with existing traditions, Christianity became more appealing to the people of that time. The first recorded celebration of Christmas as a feast for the birth of Jesus Christ took place on December 25th in the year 336 in Rome, during the reign of Emperor Constantine, the first Christian Roman emperor. Enough about the origin story. What about Santa Claus? Where does his image come from? It all starts with Saint Nicholas, born in the year 280 in Patara, in what is now Turkey. He became famous for donating all his wealth to children and helping the poor and sick throughout his life. After the colonization of the Americas, Dutch settlers brought their tradition of Sinterklaas. Sound familiar? Over the years, the name evolved into Santa Claus. Saint Nicholas can be considered a symbolic patron of New York, and his image as a white-bearded old man was often used by shops. Since gift-giving was already a Christmas tradition, St. Nicholas became associated with presents. By the 19th century, this image of Santa Claus had spread to the United Kingdom, where he became the midnight guest who leaves presents for well-behaved children. Speaking of Santa, let's talk about his stats. It's been calculated that for Santa to deliver gifts to all the children of the world in one night, he would need to travel at a speed of at least 1,000 kilometers, or 622 miles per second, and visit 900 homes every second. Quite the busy schedule. How about another iconic symbol of Christmas, the Christmas tree? Its origins aren't entirely clear, with theories ranging from the 19th century all the way back to ancient Egypt. On the shortest day of the year, between December 21st and 22nd, the ancient Egyptians decorated their homes with palm leaves. Moving further north, people began decorating their homes with evergreen plants as a symbol of the passing winter and the new beginnings of spring. The Romans decorated trees with candles, and as Christianity spread, they started adding small angels. In the 17th century, the Christmas tree as we know it took shape in Germany, complete with garlands, toys, and shiny ornaments. Another festive symbol is the Christmas stocking, and its legend is just as fascinating. One story dates back to the 4th century. A poor man had 3 daughters and couldn't afford their dowries, meaning they couldn't marry. Hearing of their plight, St. Nicholas decided to help anonymously. One night, he threw bags of gold through the family's window, or, in some versions, down the chimney. The gold coins landed in the stockings the daughters had hung by the fire to dry. Of course, there are other versions. One from the 12th century says French nuns would leave food in socks for the poor. Another suggests that children would leave food in their stockings for St. Nicholas's mule, and in return, he would leave them sweets. Some people think that Christmas festivities end on December the 26th, while others celebrate until January the 6th, known as Old Christmas, according to the Julian calendar. If you ask the church, however, the celebrations officially continue until Candlemas Day on February the 2nd, a full 40 days after the birth of Jesus Christ. Did you know a single Christmas tree typically takes between 6 to 12 years to grow to a usable size? That's why many people opt for artificial trees. Yet in the United States, approximately 30 million trees are cut down each year for Christmas. In some parts of the world, however, the celebration of Christmas is forbidden. For example, it's banned in Saudi Arabia, Somalia, and North Korea. Interestingly, during certain periods in Europe, Christmas celebrations were also prohibited. For instance, in Eastern Europe during the Cold War until 1990, Santa Claus was transformed into Dead Moroz, changed his outfit from red to blue, and only New Year's celebrations were allowed. Back in the West, every year in the United States, around 30,000 people are hired to play Santa Claus. There are even special schools that teach aspiring Santas how to get into character. These schools cover everything from handling the pressure of children's questions, especially when they don't get the gift they asked for, to more practical tips like avoiding beans, onions, and garlic. After all, Santa Claus should smell magical, not like a kitchen mishap. In Poland and Ukraine, one of the most popular Christmas tree decorations is a spider web, or at least a toy that resembles it. According to legend, a spider wove the blanket for baby Jesus, and the spider's web became a symbol of good fortune. Meanwhile, in Germany, there's a belief that on Christmas Eve, people with pure hearts can speak with animals. The most famous Christmas song of all time, Jingle Bells, wasn't even written for Christmas. It was actually created for Thanksgiving. And speaking of Santa Claus, in his earliest depictions, he was a strict-looking, white-bearded man. This is where the tradition of rewarding well-behaved children with gifts originated. Initially, Santa was dressed in a blue coat with white stars. The iconic red outfit we know today was popularized by Coca-Cola in the 1930s. In Peru, there's an unusual Christmas tradition involving organized fistfights to settle disputes and start the new year with a clean slate. In some countries, after the holidays, you can donate your Christmas tree to a zoo, where it becomes food for the animals. On Christmas Day in 1914, during World War I, an extraordinary event took place: a one-day truce between British and German soldiers. They decorated their trenches, exchanged gifts, and even played football against each other. Sadly, the next day, they returned to fighting. Sometimes humanity is truly puzzling. Many of us hope for a white Christmas, but studies show that in Europe, only 2 out of 5 Christmases in the past 200 years have been snowy. However, between the 16th and 19th centuries, during a period of cooling, it was a snowy 5 out of 5. In Brazil, Christmas celebrations often include spectacular fireworks, much like New Year's. In Africa, where Christmas trees are scarce, people sometimes decorate trees like the mango tree instead. Japan, on the other hand, has a unique tradition of eating KFC on Christmas Day, a phenomenon fueled by a highly successful marketing campaign. Orders for Christmas buckets are often placed 2 months in advance. Shopping during the Christmas season is massive. Studies reveal that about 1/6 of all purchases made throughout the year happen around this time. When it comes to traditional feasts, 12 dishes are often served, symbolizing the 12 apostles. However, the key is abundance. The table should be full. This tradition dates back to Roman Saturnalia celebrations, where overindulgence was a hallmark of the festivities. According to a study by Wren Kitchens, the average person consumes 5,373 calories on Christmas Day. That's about twice the recommended daily allowance for men and 3 times the allowance for women. To burn off that feast, the average person would need to walk non-stop for 208 hours, or about 8.5 days. Do you know what the biggest Christmas gift ever given is? If you guess the Statue of Liberty, you're correct. France gifted it to the United States on Christmas Eve in 1886. Speaking of gifts, one of the most popular Christmas songs, All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey, earns her around $2 million every holiday season, even though it's over 20 years old. Meanwhile, Paul McCartney's Wonderful Christmas Time, often ranked as one of the worst Christmas songs, still brings him $500,000 annually, likely because people are curious about how bad it really is. And with that, I'd like to wish you all a wonderful and happy Christmas. I hope you spend these special days surrounded by loved ones. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more in the future, please like and subscribe to Atlas Cove. Thank you for watching, and Merry Christmas.